For centuries, humanity had lived in the shadow of the stars, unnoticed, underestimated, dismissed. Alien civilizations passed by, confident that Earth was weak, primitive, and irrelevant. Yet beneath the calm surface of the planet, humans had been watching, learning, preparing. Dr. Liana Carter stood in the orbital command center, her eyes fixed on the holographic displays that flickered with streams of data from deep space. Something was different. The readings were clear, organized, and unmistakable. Alien fleets were on the move, approaching the solar system with a speed and precision that left no doubt they were not exploring. They were coming to conquer. The silence of centuries had ended, and the breaking point had arrived. General Marcus Hale entered the room, his tall figure casting a long shadow over the glowing displays. "They are coming," he said calmly, though the weight of the words settled heavily on everyone present. Around him, the officers and engineers worked in tense silence, the hum of the machinery, the only sound. For decades, Hale had prepared for this day, drilling his teams, calibrating hidden defenses, and maintaining a network of intelligence that stretched beyond what the galaxy believed Earth could achieve. Now the moment had come when all that preparation would be tested. The aliens assumed humanity would wait passively, react slowly, and be crushed. They could not have been more wrong. The first signs of movement appeared as small, flickering blips on long-range sensors. At first, the analysts thought it might be a technical glitch. But as the readings multiplied, it became impossible to deny the truth. "They're organized," Dr. Carter whispered, barely audible over the hum of consoles. "Every fleet, every maneuver, it's calculated. They know exactly where to go first." The room held its collective breath. Humanity had studied the galaxy for decades, preparing not just for defense, but for the moment when patience would turn into action. The fleets approaching Earth would soon discover that the quiet planet they thought insignificant was ready to rise. Hale moved to the central console, his hands steady over the controls. "This is it," he said. "No more holding back. Every system, every weapon, every hidden resource we've kept secret, bring it online." Engineers tapped commands into the consoles and deep beneath the oceans. The ancient intelligence that humans had protected for centuries began to stir. It pulsed with subtle energy, awakening after long dormancy, responding to human commands, and preparing to extend its influence into orbit. The suspense was almost unbearable. Every heartbeat in the room matched the rhythm of approaching alien fleets. Humanity's patience, so carefully maintained for centuries, was finally about to be tested. Outside Earth's atmosphere, stealth drones activated, weaving invisible patterns around the planet. Pilots entered simulation pods, running through scenarios that had been practiced countless times. Their minds focused, their reflexes sharp. Orbital defenses powered up, hidden energy grids beneath the oceans came alive, and communication systems synchronized with precision. The aliens thought Earth would react slowly, predictably, and poorly. But humans were neither slow nor predictable. Every move had been calculated, every contingency considered, and every defense honed to perfection. Suspense hung like a tangible presence in the control center, electric and tense. Reports came in of the alien scouts. Small, agile ships designed for observation, moving cautiously through space. They flickered on sensors, unaware that humans had already tracked them for decades. Studying patterns, identifying weaknesses, calculating responses. Dr. Carter guided the intelligence beneath the oceans, sending pulses that synchronized. With orbital drones, first step of humanity's response was subtle, almost invisible, yet it carried a quiet threat that the galaxy would soon feel. The aliens assumed Earth would act only when attacked. They had no idea that humans had been planning this exact moment. Every move perfected, every resource ready. General Hale's voice broke the tense silence. "They think we are weak. They think patience means submission. Show them how wrong they are." The command center seemed to pulse with energy, alive with preparation. Engineers monitored flows of power, pilots ran final simulations, and drones positioned themselves in perfect stealth formations. The suspense was relentless. Every reading, every sensor ping, every flicker of energy in the control center reminded them that the first move would change the galaxy's perception of Earth forever. Outside the planet, alien fleets accelerated toward the solar system, confident and arrogant. They believed they were approaching an easy target, unaware that every human system had been designed for this moment. The first strike would not only defend Earth, it would shatter centuries of underestimation. Humanity had waited patiently, hiding its strength, learning its enemy, and preparing for the precise moment when patience became power. And now that moment had arrived. The quiet planet that had been ignored for centuries was ready to declare war, and the galaxy would tremble. The breaking point had arrived. Humanity would no longer hold back. Every system, every weapon, and every hidden force would awaken. The alien fleets would discover that patience, intelligence, and hidden strength could be deadlier than any technology or fleet. In the command center reached its peak, every officer aware that the next moments could define the future of the planet. Humanity's time had come. The galaxy would never underestimate Earth again. The alien fleets entered the edge of the solar system with confidence, unaware of the storm awaiting them. Commander Varix, leading the largest formation, expected no resistance beyond minor orbital defenses. "This planet is weak," he said, voice sharp with arrogance. "It will crumble before our fleet. Strike, gather intelligence, and leave without loss." But as the first ships advanced, instruments began to fail. Communications were jammed. Engines sputtered under strange energy pulses. Systems that should have been flawless flickered and died. Something invisible, intelligent, and precise was targeting them. The humans had not only prepared, they had waited for this exact moment. And now the first strike would demonstrate that Earth was no ordinary planet. In the orbital command center, General Marcus Hale observed the advancing alien formations with calm authority. "They think they control the battlefield," he said quietly to Dr. Liana Carter. "But we have already anticipated every move." Around them, pilots entered stealth pods, drones activated, and energy grids beneath the oceans pulsed with hidden power. Humans struck first, not with reckless force, but with precision and intelligence. Small stealth drones moved like shadows through space, disabling engines, jamming communications, and creating chaos within the alien fleet. Each action was amplified by the ancient intelligence beneath Earth. Invisible, yet deadly. Alien officers shouted in panic as systems failed one by one. Commander Varix's voice rose in disbelief. "What is this? How can they predict our moves?" Every formation he tried to reorganize collapsed instantly. Ships collided, shields failed, and fighters drifted helplessly in space. The humans were not reacting. They were controlling the battle. Orbital weapons fired in coordinated strikes, targeting weak points in shields and engines. The alien fleets were stunned. Their arrogance had blinded them to the intelligence, strategy, and hidden power humanity had cultivated in secret for centuries. Below the surface, Dr. Carter guided the pulses of ancient energy like a master conductor. Each pulse struck multiple targets simultaneously, disrupting alien sensors, jamming weapons, and leaving ships vulnerable. Pilots executed complex maneuvers, perfectly synchronized with orbital weapons and drone attacks. Every move demonstrated intelligence, strategy, and control that the aliens could not comprehend. The suspense in the command center was electric. Humans were no longer passive. They were orchestrating the destruction of arrogance itself, showing the galaxy that patience and planning could be deadlier than any fleet. The alien fleet attempted a counterattack, firing volleys of energy beams and missiles, but humans had anticipated it. Stealth drones intercepted weapons before they reached orbit, while orbital defenses absorbed or redirected incoming fire. Every ship that moved seemed to be trapped by invisible hands, disabled by intelligence, not brute force. Commander Varix realized too late that Earth had planned every scenario, every strike, and every defense. The first strike was not merely defensive, it was a message. The galaxy had assumed Earth was weak, but the humans had demonstrated that patience and strategy could shatter fleets that believed themselves invincible. As chaos spread through the alien ranks, General Hale remained composed. "This is only the beginning," he said. "We have shown them that underestimating us is fatal. The galaxy will learn this lesson, and the war has only just started." Pilots continued to execute maneuvers with perfect precision, drones disabled, fighters and support ships, and the ancient intelligence pulsed in response to every command. Alien ships struggled to regroup, but the humans had already anticipated each possible formation. Every strike reinforced a single truth: Earth was no longer passive. The first strike had shocked the enemy, shattered morale, set the stage for a war that would forever change the galaxy. Commander Varex's officers were panicked, trying to organize what remained of their fleets. "They're everywhere." At once, one shouted, "We cannot fight them." Across the galaxy, distant fleets received reports of the human attack and trembled. The quiet planet that had been ignored for centuries was no longer a target to conquer. It was a storm that could not be resisted. Even the most advanced alien technologies were ineffective against the humans' precision, coordination, and intelligence. The suspense for the next encounter was intense. The galaxy had witnessed only a fraction of humanity's power, yet that fraction had devastated a fleet that had considered Earth insignificant. By the time the first strike ended, several alien ships were destroyed, many more disabled, and communication networks were crippled. The humans had not revealed the full extent of their strength, but what had been shown was enough to shatter confidence across alien civilizations. General Hale allowed himself a small, calm smile. The first strike had succeeded. Humanity had proven that patience, intelligence, and hidden power were far deadlier than sheer numbers. The galaxy would now pay attention, and the suspense for what came next would only grow. The breaking point had passed. Humanity had struck first, sending a clear message: underestimate us, and the consequences will be catastrophic. The aliens retreated, but the humans knew the war had only begun. The quiet planet that had endured centuries of observation and dismissal had revealed its strength, and the galaxy would never ignore Earth again. The remnants of the alien fleets fled into the darkness of space, trying to regroup and repair the damage inflicted by humanity's first strike. Commander Varex's voice trembled as he barked orders to scattered squadrons. "We will not fail. Again, find them. Destroy them." But even as he spoke, it was clear his forces were fractured. Ships drifted helplessly, systems flickered, and the morale of his crews was broken. The humans had revealed not only strength, but intelligence and ability to predict movements, exploit weaknesses, and strike with surgical precision. The galaxy had underestimated Earth for centuries. Now the cost was evident in the panic and disarray of alien ranks. On Earth, General Marcus Hale observed the fleeing fleets with calm precision. "They think retreat will save them," he said to Dr. Leanna Carter. "But retreat only brings them closer to what we've prepared." Around them, engineers monitored orbital defenses. Stealth drones repositioned, and the ancient intelligence beneath the oceans pulsed with silent power. The humans were ready to escalate, to transform defense into calculated offense. Every crew member, every pilot, every drone operator knew the stakes. The suspense was electric. Every decision, every movement, every pulse of energy had the potential to tip the scales in this unfolding war. Alien officers tried to reorganize their forces, but every attempt was anticipated. Stealth drones, invisible to enemy sensors, intercepted communications and disrupted coordination. Orbital weapons fired in carefully timed sequences, targeting the engines and weapons of regrouping ships. The aliens had assumed humanity would only react, but humans had already orchestrated the battlefield. They moved not with panic but with purpose, executing strategies that exposed weaknesses the aliens didn't even know they had. Commander Varex could only watch in disbelief as his forces, once confident and disciplined, descended into chaos, deep beneath the oceans. Dr. Carter guided the ancient energy like a living entity, sending pulses that synchronized with every human attack. Each wave disabled shields, scrambled weapons, and left enemy ships vulnerable to precision strikes. The humans were no longer simply defending, they were controlling the battlefield. Orbital fleets, stealth crafts, and drones operated as one mind. exploiting alien errors and punishing arrogance with exacting precision. The suspense in the command center was palpable. Every officer knew that one mistake could change the course of the war, yet humans executed flawlessly. Showing the galaxy the deadly efficiency of preparation and intelligence, the aliens attempted a counteroffensive, sending waves of fighters and missile volleys toward Earth's defenses. But the humans anticipated each move. Stealth drones intercepted and neutralized attacks. Orbital weapons targeted key ships. The ancient energy pulsed to jam sensors and disrupt communications. Alien fleets faltered under pressure, their formations breaking apart despite superior numbers. Every strike from Earth demonstrated a terrifying combination of strategy, patience, and hidden power. The galaxy could watch and fear, but it could not counter what it did not understand. Humanity was proving that intelligence could surpass brute force, and the suspense hung thick over every battlefield commander. Varrix's officers shouted in frustration as they tried to issue new orders. "They are everywhere at once. We cannot fight them." His voice was heavy with disbelief. Ships drifted helplessly, engines failing, weapons offline. The humans had not revealed the full extent of their capabilities, yet the damage was already catastrophic across the galaxy. Whispers spread of a planet that had been dismissed for centuries, now demonstrating control over fleets that had thought themselves supreme. The rising fury of humanity was no longer just defensive, it was a warning to every civilization that arrogance against Earth would carry a price. General Hale allowed himself a small smile. "They wanted war. They have it," he said. "But they will learn it is never as easy as they imagined." Pilots executed complex maneuvers, orbital weapons fired with deadly precision, and stealth crafts disabled reinforcements before they could reach the front line. The suspense remained high as humans revealed just enough strength to shock and terrify the aliens, but kept the full scale of their power hidden for later. The galaxy had begun to understand that Earth was no longer a quiet, passive planet. It was awake, intelligent, and dangerous. By the end of the engagement, alien forces were broken, scattered, and demoralized. Humanity had not only defended its world, but had shown that it could control the battlefield, anticipate enemy movements, and strike with devastating precision. The rising fury of Earth sent a clear message: underestimate humanity, and the consequences would be catastrophic. The first wave of engagement had proven that the quiet planet had patience, intelligence, and hidden power far beyond what the galaxy had ever imagined. The battle for respect and recognition had begun. Humanity had moved from defense to offense, showing that patience and strategy could overcome numbers and technology. The galaxy now watched Earth differently, and the rising fury of the humans promised that the coming war would be unlike anything the stars had ever seen. The suspense hung thick over space. As every commander realized the quiet planet was no longer a target, it was a storm ready to strike again. The alien fleets, already shaken by humanity's first two strikes, approached the battlefield with caution and fear. Commander Varrix's voice, usually sharp with authority, now trembled. "They are stronger than we imagined," he ordered, but his officers had no answers. Their formations were disrupted, weapons malfunctioning, and communication lines jammed. Every move they attempted was anticipated and countered with deadly precision. The quiet planet they had once dismissed had revealed its true power. Earth was no longer merely defending it, was controlling the battlefield, shattering their arrogance with a calm, ruthless intelligence. On Earth, General Marcus Hale observed. The alien approached with cold precision. "They believe they can regroup," he said to Dr. Liana Carter. "Let them try. Every formation they make has already been accounted for." Around them, engineers monitored the orbital weapons, pilots prepared stealth drones, and the ancient intelligence beneath the oceans pulsed with focused energy. Every human asset was synchronized, orchestrated like a single living organism. The suspense was thick in the command center, each officer aware that the next moments would determine the extent of humanity's dominance. As the alien fleets advanced, stealth drones struck first. Invisible to the enemy, they disabled engines and weapons, forcing entire squadrons into confusion. Orbital cannons fired in perfect coordination, targeting critical points in alien shields and hulls. The aliens attempted to reorganize, but every effort was anticipated, disrupted, and countered. Ships collided, shields collapsed, and fighters drifted helplessly as humans executed each maneuver flawlessly. The galaxy had assumed Earth was weak, but this calculated display of power shattered their expectations entirely. The suspense was unrelenting. Every second brought new devastation to the alien forces. Deep beneath the oceans, the ancient intelligence pulsed with growing energy, responding to human commands and amplifying every strike. Every disruption to alien systems was precise, leaving no room for error. Pilots executed complex maneuvers that seemed impossible, striking enemy ships from angles they could not predict. Engineers adjusted energy flows in real time, maximizing the effect of orbital weapons and drones. Humanity had moved beyond reaction. The humans were dictating the pace and outcome of the battle, demonstrating intelligence, patience, and control that no alien fleet had ever faced. Alien reinforcements tried to intervene, rushing toward the battle to stabilize the shattered formations. But stealth crafts and orbital defenses intercepted them before they could reach the front lines. Communications were jammed, engines disabled, and weapons neutralized before the reinforcements could fire. Commander Vorix's officers shouted, "In panic, they are everywhere. Every move we make fails." Ships drifted helplessly as human strikes hit precise weak points. The galaxy, watching from afar, began to understand that Earth was no ordinary planet. It was a calculated force capable of dismantling fleets that had considered themselves supreme. The suspense reached its peak when humans launched a coordinated wave of attacks. Orbital weapons, stealth crafts, and energy pulses combined to shatter the alien command vessels. Entire formations collapsed, morale disintegrating as crews realized their arrogance had been their undoing. Commander Vorix realized the devastating truth. Humanity had not only defended Earth, they had dominated the battlefield, dictating every move, exploiting every weakness, and striking with precision no alien civilization had anticipated. General Hale remained composed amidst the chaos. "You will remember this," he said quietly. "They thought we were weak, passive, and predictable. They have learned how dangerous patience and intelligence can be." Dr. Carter monitored the ancient energy beneath the oceans, pulsing with the power of a civilization long underestimated. Every strike reinforced the humans' dominance. Every disabled ship sent a clear message across the galaxy. Earth was no longer to be dismissed or ignored by the end of the engagement. Alien fleets were broken, scattered, and demoralized. Ships that had once inspired fear now drifted powerless, while humans maintained control of the battlefield. The galactic shatter had begun. Entire fleets and formations collapsed under the precise strategic strikes of a planet that had been underestimated. For centuries, humanity had demonstrated that intelligence, preparation, and patience could overcome numbers, technology, and arrogance. Suspense lingered, for the war was far from over, yet the message was clear. Earth had awakened, and the galaxy would. Never underestimate it again. The quiet planet had transformed into a storm that no fleet could resist. Humans had orchestrated a symphony of destruction, showing that the combination of strategy, hidden power, and patience was deadly. Commander Vorix's fleet retreated, but the humiliation and shock would remain. Across the stars, whispers of humanity's power spread, and even distant alien civilizations began to fear the strength of Earth. The suspense was far from over. But the galactic shatter had already changed the balance of power. Earth was no longer passive, it was dominant, intelligent, and unstoppable. The galaxy watched in tense silence as alien reinforcements arrived. Eager to reclaim the ground lost to Earth's precise strikes, Commander Vorix's voice was sharp but edged with fear. "We cannot fail again. Destroy them at all costs." Yet even as he gave orders, the humans were already prepared. Stealth drones moved like ghosts through space. Orbital weapons hummed with deadly precision, and the ancient intelligence beneath Earth's oceans pulsed with silent power. Every human system had been synchronized for this exact moment. Counterstrike was not only a defense, it was a demonstration of control, intelligence, and power that no alien civilization had expected. On Earth, General Marcus Hale observed the incoming fleets calmly. "They think reinforcements will change anything," he said to Dr. Liana Carter. "They are walking into a trap of their own making." Engineers monitored the energy flows, adjusting shields and amplifying strikes. While pilots prepared for maneuvers they had drilled 1,000 times. Every human asset, from orbital weapons to stealth crafts, moved as if part of a single organism. A suspense in the command center was electric. One misstep could mean disaster, yet humans executed every maneuver with perfect precision. As the alien fleets approached, the humans struck first. Stealth drones disabled engines and weapons before enemy ships could fire, sending entire squadrons into disarray. Orbital weapons fired in perfect coordination, targeting weak points in alien shields and hulls. Alien commanders shouted in panic, realizing that the humans had anticipated every possible tactic. Ships collided, formations collapsed, and morale broke under the pressure. The counterstrike had become more than a battle, it was a lesson. Humanity was proving that patience, strategy, intelligence were far deadlier than sheer numbers or advanced technology. Beneath the oceans, Dr. Carter guided the ancient intelligence, sending energy pulses that disabled alien sensors, jammed communications, and left reinforcements vulnerable to precise attacks. Pilots executed complex maneuvers. Orbital weapons struck simultaneously with drones, and every move was calculated to maximize damage and minimize risk. The humans were not reacting. They were controlling every aspect of the battlefield. Alien officers struggled to coordinate, but every command they issued was anticipated and neutralized. The suspense built with every passing second, as the aliens realized they were trapped by an intelligence far superior to anything they had faced. The alien reinforcements attempted a desperate maneuver to regroup, sending waves of fighters toward Earth's orbital defenses, but humans were ready. Stealth crafts intercepted the fighters, disabling them before they could strike. While orbital cannons fired with deadly timing at command vessels, every move the aliens attempted was countered. Every formation disrupted. Commander Varrix's officers could only watch helplessly as their fleets were systematically neutralized. The humans had turned the counterstrike into a battlefield symphony. Strike calculated, each move anticipated, and each alien ship punished for its arrogance. General Hale's voice cut through the tense command center. "Let them see the cost of underestimating Earth," he said quietly. Pilots executed daring maneuvers, drones struck from invisible angles, and the ancient intelligence pulsed like a living force. Alien formations shattered, reinforcements failed, and the panic within enemy ranks became total. Humanity was no longer defending, it was demonstrating the deadly efficiency of strategy, patience, and intelligence. The suspense was unbearable for the aliens. The humans controlled every aspect of the battle, and every second reinforced the lesson they had begun to teach the galaxy: Earth could not be ignored. The counterstrike reached its peak when humans coordinated a final wave of attacks. Orbital cannons, stealth crafts, and energy pulses combined to destroy key alien command ships. Entire fleets drifted powerless, weapons offline, engines failing, and morale shattered. Commander Varrix realized the terrifying truth humanity had anticipated every move, planned every attack, and executed with precision that no fleet could survive. The counterstrike was complete. Alien forces were broken, scattered, and terrified. Humanity had not only defended Earth, they had asserted control over the battlefield, showing the galaxy the true power of preparation, intelligence, and patience. As the last enemy ships retreated, General Hale allowed himself a small, calm smile. "They will think twice before returning," he said. Dr. Carter nodded. The ancient energy beneath the oceans pulsing steadily, ready for the next move. The counterstrike had succeeded beyond expectations. Humans had proven that even the largest alien reinforcements could be neutralized with strategy, intelligence, and precision. The galaxy had been warned. Underestimate Earth. and the consequences would be catastrophic. The suspense remained, for the war was far from over. But one truth was undeniable. Humanity controlled the battlefield. Alien fleets, once confident, now trembled. Earth had transformed from a quiet, underestimated planet into a dominant, intelligent force. The counterstrike had not only defended the planet, it had reshaped the galaxy's perception of humanity. The quiet storm that had been brewing for centuries was now visible, powerful, and unstoppable. The alien fleets had regrouped as best they could, desperate to salvage what remained of their pride and power. Commander Varrix's voice trembled with both anger and fear. "We will strike back, no matter the cost." But even as he gave orders, every human system had already been primed for the final phase of battle. Stealth crafts, orbital weapons, and the ancient intelligence beneath Earth pulsed in perfect synchronization. Humanity was no longer merely defending. They were poised to unleash the full force of the planet's power, force the galaxy had never imagined. On Earth, General Marcus Hale surveyed the approaching alien formations with calm precision. "This is the moment," he said to Dr. Liana Carter. "Every weapon, every drone, every pulse of energy, bring it to bear. They will learn what patience and preparation can do." Around them, the command center thrummed with controlled energy. Engineers monitored power flows, pilots entered stealth pods, and orbital cannons focused on strategic points across the enemy fleets. Every move, every strike had been planned and practiced, and now it would all come together in a display of calculated fury that would redefine the galaxy's understanding of humanity. As the first wave of strikes began, stealth drones disabled, key engines, weapons, and shields with surgical precision. Orbital cannons fired in waves, hitting command vessels, supply ships, and reinforcements simultaneously.
Ow.
Alien crews struggled to respond as entire formations faltered, colliding and drifting helplessly through space. The humans were everywhere, at once coordinated, precise, and unstoppable. The suspense in the command center was electric. Every officer knew that the outcome of this strike would decide the fate of the galaxy's balance of power. Beneath the oceans, Dr. Carter guided the ancient intelligence, sending energy pulses that spread invisibly through the battlefield. Alien sensors failed, communications jammed, and weapon systems short-circuited before they could even fire. Pilots executed daring maneuvers, striking enemy ships from impossible angles. While orbital weapons destroyed fleets with surgical accuracy, humanity was no longer reacting. They were controlling every second of the war, dictating the outcome with unmatched intelligence and precision. Every alien officer knew, in the deepest part of their mind, that they were facing a power beyond comprehension. Alien reinforcements attempted desperate maneuvers, rushing toward broken formations to stabilize them. But the humans anticipated. Every move, stealth crafts intercepted them before they reached the front. Orbital weapons neutralized command ships, and energy pulses disabled shields and engines. Ships drifted powerless, their crews panicked, and the morale of the entire alien force collapsed. Commander Varrix could only watch as his last hope of recovery was systematically dismantled. Earth's wrath was complete, precise, and overwhelming. The climax of the battle arrived as humans launched a coordinated final wave. Orbital cannons, stealth crafts, and the ancient intelligence combined into a single unstoppable force. Alien command vessels were destroyed, fleet formations shattered, and communication networks annihilated. Commander Varrix realized the terrifying truth. Humanity had anticipated every strategy, planned every response, and executed with perfection that no force could withstand. Entire fleets surrendered or fled into uncharted space. Humanity had not only defended Earth, they had dominated the battlefield and declared themselves a power the galaxy would never ignore. General Hale allowed himself a small, calm smile. "They will never underestimate us again," he said. Dr. Carter nodded, the energy beneath the oceans pulsing as if alive, ready to respond to any future threat. Across the stars, whispers of Earth's overwhelming force spread. Even the most powerful civilizations had witnessed what patience, intelligence, and preparation could achieve. The quiet planet that had once been dismissed as weak now stood as a beacon of unstoppable power. The suspense of the battle ended not with uncertainty, but with certainty. Humanity had risen, and the galaxy had felt its wrath. As night fell on Earth, cities sparkled under the stars, oblivious to the cosmic storm they had survived. Humanity had proved that intelligence, patience, and hidden strength could defeat fleets that had once thought themselves unbeatable. Alien civilizations had learned a lesson they would never forget. Earth had declared war, and the galaxy trembled, understanding that the quiet, underestimated planet had become a force beyond reckoning. The ancient intelligence pulsed beneath. The oceans, a silent guardian and powerful ally, ready to awaken whenever the galaxy challenged humanity again. The war had revealed the true strength of the planet and its people. Humans had moved from passive observers to decisive masters of the battlefield. The galaxy had been warned, underestimate Earth, and the consequences would be catastrophic. Humanity's total domination was complete, and the stars themselves would remember the day the quiet planet rose with unstoppable fury.